I have zero experience coding games or any sort of game development at all, but in this series I am going to try and make my very own Lego Stranger Things game. Now, this is gonna be such an adventure. You know, I hated the idea of making a game for the longest time because I just thought coding was so boring and who wants to code, right? But now Unreal Engine has these blueprints thing. You just jag them together and stuff. It's easy now. So I want to do it. So, I was watching all these tutorials about how to import Lego into Macabricks or Macabricks into Blender and all this stuff. And then I came across a website called Maximo. And Mixamo, I don't know how you say it. I don't care. But what this beautiful tool does is you can import a model from Mechabricks if you save it as an OBJ. I think. I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I'm very new to this. And basically, you can auto rig your models, and basically you can whip out some pretty cool animations in about 5 minutes. So yeah, I made a Steve Harrington model on Mechabricks because there's no official figures, but even if there was, Mechabricks doesn't include the prints for Stranger Things except for the Demogorgon, so I would have had to made it anyway, and I don't think I did bad. Yeah, so I whipped up a quick model of Steve and I put him into Mixamo, and yeah, it took a while, but yeah, cut to the montage. Do a lot of things with them. By that, I mean we can make him run towards the camera, make him run away from the camera, left of the camera, and right of, and jump. That's so crazy. I think one of my highest priorities for this episode is to change the map, just because I do not like that. Maybe I'll even add a second character. Okay, so we got the animations for Steve, and I can do a double jump now, which is very, very cool. All I literally had to do was just press one button, but it's pretty cool. Love his animations, like so cool. I'm just trying to do this jump right now. But yeah, I don't know. I think he looks really, really cool. Next thing I'm gonna try and do is add a UI or like a, I don't know what it's called, like a health bar kind of thing. You know, where it shows what character you are. Yeah, and I did it. Okay, you don't understand how hard that jump was. Oh my god. Okay. But yeah, that's the top of my priorities right now, and I'm gonna try and do that. So I've got this Mechabricks model. Oops. Got this Mechabricks model right here. And I exported it, I rendered it, all that stuff. I put it in this little set of circles, kind of similar to the Saga. I'm gonna go to Stranger Things text generator. And I got this little text that says Steve here. I just want to display the character's name so you know who you're playing as, in case you're like blind to pictures. I don't know. But I'm gonna save it as a PNG, and I'm actually gonna try and import it into the project. We'll see how it goes. So I don't know how to change it depending on what character you are, but I think this should work just for Steve, and I'll have to figure that out later. But yeah, I think this should work. Just, yeah. So now, if we start the game, it's gonna open a new window. If we start the, oh yeah, that looks great. That looks great. Yeah, that looks very, very nice. Okay. Now it tells you who you're playing as. I'm gonna add the health bar soon. I just don't know if it's gonna be hearts or, you know, lines. I can't figure out which one I want to do. I think it's fine, but yeah, and I fixed the sprinting too. It's no longer right trigger, because like, you know, if you play most games like Fortnite, you just like hold down the joystick, I guess, and then it makes you sprint, and I didn't think you could do that, because, you know, Unreal Engine's kind of for PC mostly, and I mean kind of geared toward iPhone, which is kind of weird, but like, yeah. Oh no, now there's two. Oh, that is not good. I gotta go delete that. And they're in sync. Oh my goodness. So I found this thing called Assetsville Town, and it looks pretty cool. You can see here. You know, it's got a lot of things, and I think it really like does look like Hawkins, which, you know, I think is what I want. Like, see, that's literally the buyer's house right there. This is for sale, which is cool as well. But it has a lot of cool things. The only problem is it has some characters preloaded into it, and as well as some cars. And if you played the games, you know, everything's Lego except for the buildings. So I would have to delete those cars if I downloaded this and the people, which, you know, because it's all the same material, it would take a long time because I'd have to do it individually. But I think, you know, like, look at this and tell me this doesn't look like Hawkins. So, yeah. Personally, I think I gotta get it. I don't know, though. It's just gonna be a long, you know, process. But, you know, save that for next episode, I guess. But yeah. So, I think I'm gonna get it. I think it's mostly just because of this main speed looks so much like Hawkins. Yeah, I'm gonna add it to the project and show you guys how it looks. Okay, so I wrote some code here. Not very complicated, just super messy. And this should allow you to flip-flop between the two characters. And also, this is the first time I'm seeing a new map, so hopefully it works, and hopefully the new map looks good. Because I've just deleted, you know, all the cars and everything, so yeah, let's see how it looks. Okay, so one part of the code is working. That is the map. Oh my goodness, this looks just incredible. Tell me this does not just remind you of Hawkins. No, the frame rate's a little bit iffy, but, you know, I'm playing this on a MacBook, so like, that's why. That's the buyer's house right there. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, and I don't know where I'm gonna put like Dustin Elbo's houses. But yeah, this is what one of them looks like, one of the houses. Some of them have interiors, some of them don't, but like, yeah, I think they're pretty cool. I think it's gonna be really cool to, drive, or just around. And I don't know, driving might not work, so I might have to do bikes and, just all this fun stuff that's gonna come soon. And obviously footpaths for civilians. That's our #1 goal next, is just to create footpaths for civilians. But like, obviously I have a life, so it's not gonna happen super fast. But yeah, like, let's see a good example. And yeah, there's just a lot of cool features. So just switch characters. Or sorry, I'm just gonna try switch characters. Okay, the switch character code does work. Although I don't like at the top there, Dustin goes over Steve and you can't really see the name. Obviously the texture framing's kind of blocking that. But yeah, obviously this will turn into Dustin. I'll try to do it by the end of this episode. So when you turn back over to Steve, it goes back to Steve. When you go to Dustin, it just overrides Steve, and I don't really like that. So what I'll probably do is I'll probably add like, a black rectangle lens. So basically what I've done is I've just put a button behind the character, and honestly I think it looks pretty good. I made it black, just to blend in. We'll see how it looks now. So turning on my controller, pressing play, here we go. Okay. Yeah, so if we hit triangle, okay, we can see that. Ooh, I think we gotta make Dustin a bit bigger. Yeah, it looks like we gotta make Dustin a tiny bit bigger. That's okay, that's just simple fixes. But yeah, it's working good. So I just imported all of Dustin's textures, and we should be good to go. I'm just gonna grab my controller, and we are going to try it out. Okay, so just to warn you that I've done like simple animation of switching characters, so it's not like huge or anything. Like, obviously you'll know when you switch characters, but like, yeah, it's not like a GTA style switching character screen, which is what I want to do at some point. It's just, yeah, I'm not sure how. But if any of you know or have a link to a tutorial or anything, feel free to send me that. My Discord will be in the description. Yeah, and join our server if you'd like as well. So yeah, let's just see how it looks. Hey, we got Dustin in the game. I love his animation. He just looks so bored. Just like this, he walks like he's cool, and then he runs with a bit of a hobble, because if you actually watch the show, he doesn't run super duper fast, which is why his max speed is 600 instead of 700. Steve's is 700, and it's 50 maybe even, and Dustin's just 600. So yeah, I think that was pretty cool. But yeah, so obviously you can switch characters. It does take a bit of time. Agro did pretty well. Obviously you could switch characters just by pressing triangle. I love Dustin's animation so much. This walk is so funny too. He walks like he's the coolest guy around. I took away the double jump from Steve just because I felt like Dustin should get an advantage because he walks slower. So at the moment, Dustin can double jump, but Steve can't. And I think I'm gonna make it so that all the kids can double jump, but the adults can't. And I don't know. How do you guys think of that idea? Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? Who knows? You guys do. So yeah. But I think that's gonna do it for this episode. I think it's been very successful, considering the fact that I literally knew nothing about game design before this started. So yeah, and we're like here, almost done the first level of the game, which is so cool. We just gotta add the Demogorgon, and I'm gonna add some very, very simple code to make, Dustin or Steve, whichever one you're not, is gonna follow you, so you don't have to switch characters over here and then go run all the way back to Steve if you want to use Dustin, which I think is a good idea, for sure. And then I'm going to try and add Mike's house, and I'm gonna retexturize that to make it the Hawkins High School. So yeah, I got a lot of ambitions, a lot of work ahead of me, but I think I've done pretty well, and I'm very excited to see you in the next one.